Abdurrahman, we start from Parliament because there is still uncertainties about the controversial Elevy Bill, as the bill could not be withdrawn today, as indicated last week. The Deputy Majority Leader, Mr. Alexander Fenyo-Markin, last week during the presentation of the business statement for this week stated that the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, will withdraw the bill today, Friday, and lay a new one. However, in Parliament today, the bill could not be withdrawn, and we'll want to understand the reasons behind us not seeing as indicated last week. And my colleague Bubu Klinogo joins me from Parliament. Bubu, if you can hear me, what is the reason, what's the reason given for the non-withdrawal of the bill as indicated last week? Because many had expected the bill to be withdrawn and a new one laid today.
Right, Abdul, as you rightly indicated, the bill was supposed to be withdrawn today, but today there was no indication as to when the bill will be withdrawn. Today, Mr. Fenyo-Markin, who is the Deputy Majority Leader, presented a statement for next week, and he did say that, contrary to what they indicated earlier, the bill could not be withdrawn today. And as of now, he didn't even say when exactly the bill will be withdrawn. What he did say is that probably the bill may not be withdrawn at all, but rather the House will go ahead with the consideration, and then during the consideration, then the necessary amendment will be preferred or will be made to the bill. And so, as at now, we are not very clear as to what exactly is the status of this bill. He didn't even give any timeline, any date as to when the bill will be taken, whether or withdrawn. So we are all in a state of uncertainty currently.
Bubu, if I get you right, the business statement for next week does not contain anything about the e-levy.
No, there is an indication that Tuesday something could be done, but it is not really clear because the majority that said the Minister for Finance may not be available even next week. And so that means that even next week, we are not sure if anything will be done to the bill, because in this case, the minister will not be available. And the minority MPs press where the minister is, what reason the minister is giving for not being available next week, but he could not give any answers. So for now, it is also clear that next week, we may not even touch the bill at all.
That certainly will be for the reason earlier given by government that they're trying to rally support from Ghanaians, as we've seen the government moving from one region to the other to solicit support for the bill. But a little away from the e-levy, we understand some MPs also have been commenting on the rest of some journalists recently, especially what we saw yesterday about the guy with Accra FM, the journalist who works with private station Accra FM.
Certainly, and one person who made a comment for Tamarin of Arat and Suini, you know that he is also a journalist. He used to work for Radio Good for many years before becoming an MP. And so today, when he had the chance to speak on the floor, he requested that the Business Committee and the leadership of the House should program the National Media Commission to appear before the House next week to brief MPs about the state of press freedom in the country, because he saw that it is becoming alarming, the rate at which journalists and people who express divergent opinions against the state agencies and state officials are being arrested. He cited about 4 instances where journalists or people, social activists have been arrested in the past couple of months, and he feels that it is becoming unbecoming. And it appears the National Media Commission is becoming toothless, or National Media Commission is not being effective. And so they need to come to the House to brief MPs exactly what is the difficulty in ensuring press freedom, media work, and media men in the line of their duties. And so that is this concern.
But very finally, we've heard that the minority have been asking for the Education Minister to appear before the House to update them on the ongoing UTAG strike. Has the Minister appeared? Will he be appearing today?
Yes, certainly. MP for Medina, Lawyer Francis Xavier, so he made that request to the majority side to program the Minister for Education to come to the House and brief MPs about the state of universities in the country following the ongoing youth tax strike. And the speaker at the time was the Federal Deputy Speaker, Mr. Joseph Osei, so who also believed that it is an important point raised by the MP, and so he directed the leadership of the House to program the minister to come and brief the MP, because as of now they are all representative Ghanaians, and they need to know the fate of students, whether the schools will be shut down, or whether these concerns could be addressed. Anything the MPs can do to help, they need to know. So they want the minister to come and brief the House. And from what the Federal Minister said, it may appear that the minister will be coming somewhere next week and then talk to MPs, and then if there are any issues, then the House can resolve it.
But thank you so much for bringing us up to speed on development in Parliament today. Away from this issue, the quality of the air in Accra has been described as unhealthy due to the harmattan, dust from the northeast, household and bush burning activities and emissions from vehicles. Light industrial activities such as automobiles, spraying and carpentry are also key contributors. The air quality index as of February 10, 2022 indicate that the quality of the air in Accra currently is hazardous, meaning the air is filled with dangerous chemicals when inhaled could be harmful to the body. The head of the Environmental Quality Department of the Environmental Protection Agency joins us via Zoom for some more education, especially as we are still witnessing some bit of harmattan, especially in Accra. Thank you so much for your time, sir. If you can help us appreciate what air quality means.
Yeah, when God created heaven and earth, he said everything was okay, but our activities in the quest to develop, we tend to emit some substances into the atmosphere. We tend to offset the natural balance of oxygen and other gases in the atmosphere. And when this happens beyond the limits, we say it's the pollutant. So currently, as we experience across the country, from December through January to February, the harmattan has been very, very intensive. And so we could see a lot of dust laden in the air, and you could also see sometimes visibility also becomes very, very poor because of the blockage of sun particles in the air. It blocks the sun from penetrating through. So you normally have some form of how to store it, blockage. And we've been experiencing this over time. And as at yesterday, the situation was unhealthy. It means that it could really gravely affect people who have underlying health conditions. The air quality index range was unhealthy. But in January, it was ranging between unhealthy and hazardous. It's unhealthy, it's reducing gradually because of the harmattan is coming down a bit. We will advise people to, normally those with underlying health problems, like the asthmatics, those who have some breathing difficulties, the aged, the elderly, the young ones, infants, we need to keep them a lot indoors, and then try to avoid outdoor outings to be able to prevent themselves. And I also encourage the citizens of the country. The northern sector is worse. Middle sector is also worse. So we need to encourage people to be wearing the nose mask. At least the nose mask will prevent dust inhalation. We minimize what will be inhaled into the system. We all know that when we inhale this dust, we inhale these particles, which may contain toxins into our systems. It may cause, trachea problems. It may also cause, lung problems, lung cancer. We have obstructive pulmonary diseases. We also have a lot of ailments affect the heart and other things, apart from respiratory problems that we all experience, like catarrh and all those things, running nose. These situations could be very, very high in the vulnerable groups. So we have to be wearing our nose masks frequently, and make sure that we protect ourselves very well. Thank you.
Industrial activities, as you rightly mentioned, are part of the causes of this problem that we are talking about. And issues of fossil fuel is also a significant part of the causes of the challenge we are discussing on the program. With issues moving away from fossil fuel to clean energy, what do you think government should be doing in exploiting the fossil fuel and our resources in that regard, and also balancing it with ensuring that we do not destroy the quality of the air that we breathe so that we can protect lives?
Frankly speaking, government is doing a lot, and institutions are playing their roles a lot in this direction. We used to have what we call dirty fuel. Our diesel, petrol, the sulfur levels were really very high. Currently, we have a maximum of 50 ppm. And even typical cars that come into the country are less than that, between the range of 10 and 15 ppm, which is equivalent to the European setup. So for fuel quality, yes, we've improved, government has improved on that. And then when we come to the cooking aspect, then we keep on using the firewood, the charcoal, because of the cost of gas, LPG. So that's where we need to do a lot. The government need to look at that aspect and then improve upon the cost, reduce the cost of the LPG, so that people go back to the use of the LPG stoves and then reduce the use of charcoal. Because the prices are very high, people are moving to the charcoal and then the firewood. And many of this in the cities, in our homes, really aggravate the situation that we have. But for the industrial sector, because EPA is also implementing what we call environmental assessment regulations, and companies are really permitted, there is some form of control. And those who do not have emission control systems are being requested to put in those systems to reduce emissions that goes into the atmosphere. That's happening. But I must say that aside that, which is normally localized within the regional setup, there are other movement of particles that comes from burning, bush burning. You have the wind blowing from the northeast towards the south, may carry these particles. Burning of, how do you call it, solid waste at their backyard, the open burning. Burning of lorry tires and to extract metals from them and other precious metals. These are things that we need to control. We need to even avoid them, because they have serious implications. Apart from the toxicity level that they are emitted, it's an eyesore as a country to see this thing, smoke laden in the atmosphere all over the cities. So we need to look at that and then try to avoid that and do more. And I plead also with the media that you have to highlight on these things. On institutions that are supposed to do their work, ranging from local government through the public sector, other institutions. Let's try to put pressure on each of them and make sure that the laws are really implemented to the fullest, so that we all live and then breathe better air in the country. Of course, we have the Ghana standards now. The WHO has published WHO guidelines now. Our standards are even stringent, more than the interim target 3 in WHO. So if you're able to implement the standards very well, hopefully deaths and ailments that are associated with inhalation or exposure to air pollution, dirty air, could be reduced, and then productivity could go up. Children can even grow very well. So we have these challenges have to be circumvented. We have to be able to overcome them, and it is the onus is on all of us, every citizen. It is not only the policies can be made, legal regimes can be put in place, but if citizens don't change their mindset, it will become very difficult for us to achieve our targets.
We've heard, and research has proven that the burning of electronics at Agbogloshi in the past has been one of the key contributors of this challenge we are talking about. Now that government has moved those more or less burning such materials there? How has that improved the quality of air we have specifically in Greater Accra?
Yeah, hitherto the levels were extremely very high, and our systems, our monitors are now recording something, a reduction in the levels. Mind you, there are other burnings from the citizens, the city. So wind can carry particles across. So the effect could still be pronounced. There are burning that is taking place around Jamestown area, Chopper area, and most often people are also burning, even the same place we are talking about. Around the College is, you see people burning, especially in the night. So the situation has not yet met the standard that we are looking at, but there's some form of reduction. We should be able to attain this in with the limits that Ghana has set.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time this afternoon. Emmanuel Apo is the head of Environmental Quality Department of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and has been helping us to appreciate what we can do to help improve the quality of air in Greater Accra and across the country. 10 years ago, work started on the John Evans Atamils Fisheries College at Anumabo in the Central Region. Today, the project remains at a snail's pace and yet to be completed. The mandate of the college is to train officers and students in the marine and inland fisheries subsector, and also train local fishermen and the youth to fish scientifically to protect the collapsing of the sector. However, the project has been moved to the back burner. Our Central Regional Correspondent Kingsley Nanabwedu visited the site near Anumabo and says many are expectantly waiting for the project's completion due to its enormous importance.
I am at the John Evans Atamils Fisheries College here at Bura Anamwa near Anumabo in the Central Region. This was the initiative of the former late President John Evans Atamils in 2011. That is when the decision to construct or establish this college came to being. We are told the actual work began in 2013. But unfortunately, this edifice have been here for some time now without the people seeing anything that is happening here with regards to the school or the college that they are talking about. We are told by the finance ministry, some officials there, that this particular year, the budget that of course were presented, this facility happened to be part of it, and that amount, some sort of amount, have been earmarked for the completion of this. So we came here to find out exactly what the situation is on the ground and speak with some of the inhabitants of this particular community, their expectation and how the delay so far as this facility is concerned has caused them.
Now, no question me. What the basic school? Yeah, the religious one by do baby waja de go tama ya na basa cause near you the other day ko babu school na man class yo hanu yeso yatumi yanya bibia fi school mu by still ya hwekwan and man koyi ti ya yi daro and oba school na ma yeso ya setema ya yi
sesi azi ye ni baje age se ye hu sa bem sande wosi mu ache papa de bia wo ba owo mu a be ye mfie bi e na wo mo eje egu ho no masan aba be ye mfie 9 no masan aba nti almost 10 years ni isi ade hu da na hu de we si awi nenso aka emu na niema wo be ye se de be ye nanka ekuafo yi a ye ze asase amamo wo ye adwuma wo so oboboa ye nyina.
In some of the day's other events, for the first time in 5 years, January recorded a drop in deaths from road crashes. From statistics, 232 Ghanaians lost their lives in road crashes in January 2022. The figure, according to the National Road Safety Authority, is a reduction to data from last year, same period since 2017. In an interview with the head of corporate communication, National Road Safety Authority, Madame Pearl Jesse, the reduction came about as a result of prudent interventions made through their Arrive Alive campaign, which the authority introduced in 2021.
number of deaths also decreased. Where we recorded 244 last year, this year we are recording 232. So a decrease of 4.9%. Then further on, the injuries also decreased to 11 points. That one decreased actually 11.2% for injuries. Whilst last year was 1,339, this year 1,237. The number of vehicles that were involved, motorcycle reduced by 4%, and then commercial vehicles also reduced by 5.3%. It is only the private vehicles that shot up by 16.1%. So when we look at the indicators, 5 of the indicators out of 8 reduced, which is a happy news or narrative to hear. In 2020, we came up with the Arrive Alive campaign, which we slightly changed into Stay Alive in 2021. And we put so much effort in the campaign that it went up a lot of people became aware, and then combining the campaign, we added a little bit of enforcement. If you remember, in collaboration with the police and another sister radio station, we went into against discipline, arresting recalcitrant drivers and prosecuting them no matter how your status in society. And so the enforcement bit came to help us, coupled with the campaign that we did vigorously.
Quite some refreshing news there, but we still have more to do. Now, poor customer service in both public and private organizations and businesses has been identified to cost the nation millions of cedis in terms of revenue from the industrial sector. Organizations lose their client base and investors as a result of the lackadaisical and rude attitude of the staff towards clients and customers, thereby impacting negatively on the country's GDP. This observation came up at the Customer Experience Scale Up 2022 conference in Accra. A report by Jonathan Thompson.
Index report of 2021 by the Institute of Customer Service Professionals show that poor customer service in the public sector was around 60.3% in Ghana, making the country lose vital clientele and direct investment. Private sector activity growth also recorded a slow pace, with a projection of a 4 to 8% growth acceleration if customer relations and client services are scaled up. The importance of customer relations in businesses has brought to the fore the need for organizations to train their staff to treat customers and clients with respect and goodwill. For this reason, Dunks Consult, a business development firm, organized the Customer Service Scale-Up Conference to build the capacity of business owners for effective customer service. The executive director of Dunks Consult, Madam Safua Duncan, spoke about the importance of scaling up customer service through digitalization.
If you're a business owner and you don't take your digital customer experience important, you'll be out of business in no time. Everybody is online. People are on their phones 24/7, flipping through channels, seeing who can deliver the best of experience. So you need to be on there. Not just that, you need to know what it takes to improve on this digital experience, your social media marketing, your website, your apps, and all the other digital platforms that you use.
A senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Kobe Mensah, stressed on the need for customers to demand their rights when patronizing services or goods from organizations. He said customers should use all digital technologies available, including social media, to complain about businesses with poor customer service.
If you have a way of identifying who actually said that we've closed and therefore they're not going to attend to you, and you can let them be accountable for it, I think people will start becoming responsible and taking ownership, of their responsibility. And that's what some of the things that we've tried doing with the innovation of some softwares to ensure that we can actually track performances and attribute them to individual people in order that they can be accountable for their deeds.
Some participants at the conference called for more of such conferences and national engagements to save both public and private businesses from collapsing. Jonathan Thompson reporting.
$120,000 dropped into the wallet of Madame Celestine Yevu for winning the Star 787 Ash lottery jackpot draw. The 35-year-old teacher from Tema Newtown made her breakthrough in the Star 787 Ash draw last Saturday, February 5, 2022. She received her prize presentation in Accra on Thursday, February 10, 2022. Come Saturday, February 12, 2022, the Star 787 Ash jackpot draw promises of another whopping 100,000 cedis for another lucky winner.
Madame Celestine Yevu is the third lucky customer to win the Star 787 Hash Big Jackpot prize of 120,000 cedis in 2022. She told GBC News her win came as a surprise because she was new to the game. As the saying goes, seeing is believing, and she excitedly felt her win after she received her check of 120,000 cedis in Accra. She intends to complete some ongoing projects and make some investments with the cash prize.
Last week I was called that I have won a prize of 120,000 Ghana cedis. To be frank, I didn't believe it, but coming here I've realized that it's real. So everybody out there, make sure you also participate. Star 787 is real. So each and every one out there should participate.
Also packed with the Star 787 Hash Saturday weekly draw is the special Tuesday draw, where 50 players each pocket 200 cedis, as well as the special Thursday draw, where 6 players are rewarded with 1,000 cedis each. The head of customer experience at Star 787 Hash Lotteries, Mr. Richard Akotobanfo, said Star 787 Hash guarantees an extra 2,000 cedis win for 6 lucky players after purchasing 3 or more tickets before midnight every Thursday.
This very Saturday, there is a guaranteed 20,000 Ghana cedis unique prize and 100,000 Ghana cedis jackpot value, and you can be the person to win this prize. All you have to do is to pick your phone now and dial Star 787 Hash. You'll be going home with 20,000 guaranteed unique prize, cash, or the 100,000 Ghana cedis jackpot. So take your chance now.
All tickets purchased for the special Tuesday and Thursday draw automatically qualify for the big jackpot value draw of 100,000 cedis on Saturday, February 12, 2022. Interested participants are to dial Star 787 Hash. Select play now, enter participation and confirm your mobile money PIN for payment on all networks.
Let's do some health stories, because lack of vaccines continue to be a major challenge in the vaccination drive against rabies in the Pon-Katamanso area. Although some success has been achieved in reducing the infection rates, veterinary officers say there is the need for a collaborative effort to eradicate rabies in the area. Mission Rabies, a UK group, is supporting the assembly with free vaccines to roll out free rabies vaccination in the area. Tema correspondent Michael Duonu has been speaking with officers from the Veterinary Services Department to find out the progress made in eradicating rabies in Ghana.
Last year at the World Rabies Day held here at the Kpong Municipal Assembly, it came out that rabies infection here at the Kpong Katamanso was going up, and there are steps that the veterinary service here in the municipality are taking to make sure that they fight the infection. And so we are here to have a discussion with Dr. Peku to tell us the progress they have made since the World Rabies celebration and how far they have come, and what is the next line of action towards eradicating the infection of rabies in the municipality.
After the World Rabies, we had a campaign in the communities. After the campaigns, the turnouts were okay. So far, after the campaigns, we are not recording
positive case within the municipality in dogs. But the plan is it's always good to do a 3-year consecutive vaccination. So we are privileged to have Mission Babies, an NGO, to support us, and this time around we are even going to have a free vaccination for the people in the municipality.
Looking at the rate of infection and our target of eradicating rabies by 2030, do you think we are making some progress towards that?
Yes, so for example, having this Mission Babies people, if we're able to continue for a period of about 2-3 years within this municipality, I think we are going to have the 70% coverage, which will help us to eradicate rabies in this municipality.
Sure. So we also want to talk to Mission Rabies, who are here to help us do the free vaccination. What is the motivation for choosing this particular district?
Well, we heard that there had been an increase in confirmed cases in this area, in this municipality, so we made contact with the relevant people, and they were happy for us to come and help them.
So how many vaccines are you bringing to help in this whole exercise?
We have brought 20,000 vaccines, so we're hoping to vaccinate about 20,000 dogs. But really our main aim is to try and vaccinate 70% of all the dogs within the area where we are working.
I have Dr. Moses joining me to tell us how One Health is making sure that they curtail the infection between animals and humans.
Over 60% of all infectious diseases that we get among the human population have their sources in the animals. So what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is that the veterinary guys are in charge of animal health, and then the human physicians are in charge of humans. So then we collaborate, and that will be the best way to do it. Another segment that's part of it is the environment, because the human dwell in an environment. So when we talk about real health, actually it involves those into environmental health, those in the human health, and those in the veterinary health. Over 99% of cases of human rabies are through bites of dogs. When we are able to stop that, then we have already virtually eliminated the human rabies. So the idea is that we vaccinate the dogs, because that's the cheapest. It is cheaper to vaccinate dogs than to vaccinate humans when they are exposed. So when we vaccinate the dogs, and the science is that for any population, if we are able to vaccinate the dogs more than 70% of the dog population for no less than 3 years, then we are on the verge of what? Eliminating the rabies among the dogs. Immediately we are able to do that, then we eliminate it among the human population as well. We train community health officers, or what we call the community health nurses, and as we speak now, they are in all the basic schools on how to prevent dog bites and what to do when you get the dog bites.
There is no cure for rabies. The best approach is to vaccinate dogs, and Rabies Mission is here to help offer free vaccination to communities in the Katamanso municipality. For GBC News, my name is Michael Dowonu, reporting for Katamanso.
It's still News Hour live on GBC News. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We go for a break. We return with business, because the finance minister has reiterated government's resolve to stick in to a cut of 20% in government expenditure as government seeks to rally support on the international capital market. Stay with us.
I've traveled very wide. I used to be in Switzerland on a regular basis some years back, and if we compare our chocolate to theirs, you see the quality in our chocolate. And it's my wish that at least when we eat chocolate, even from childhood, and we get addicted to it, it will even increase the consumption of chocolate in Ghana. And it is my wish that it also brings some benefit directly to the farmers who toil the whole day in the cocoa farms. As I am also a part-time cocoa farmer, eat chocolate, stay healthy, and grow Ghana.
Nothing says I love you more than chocolate. Anti-chocolate. chocolate. Nancy says I love you more than chocolate.
Hello, this is Business with me, Esther Edu Ohumeu. Now, the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, has reiterated government's commitment to stick to the 20% cut in expenditure for the 2022 budget. This is a prudent fiscal consolidation with the government. In this regard, projected revenues in the 2022 budget will only be spent when they are realized. We have Zoom financial analyst, Mr. Bujo, to explain further. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What will be the overall impact of the expenditure cut on the economy? The overall impact?
So, typically, when the government, let's put it on a personal level, say you generate income and then you spend, right? So let's say you don't have enough money to spend. What you tend to do is you cut your coat according to your size, and I believe this is what Ghana is trying to do at this point in time. We want to cut our coat according to our size, and what would then happen is this: there are so many government flagship programs. So we have free SHS, we have digitization of archival records, we have toilet for all, so many other initiatives, and the government has to actually look at what is a priority. So for instance, I've seen instances in the UK where the government has embarked on austerity programs, and personally at the time I was supposed to join the civil service, and there was a cut in employment opportunities for everyone. But luckily for me, I was supposed to join the debt management team, so we're actually going to bring in income for the government, so we were allowed to proceed. So we are looking at different things, and so far the government is being quite evasive. They've not really told us where the cuts are going to come from. Okay. So going by past things that have happened, the question is, let's look at the figures in real terms. Okay, so expenses or expenditure for the year, we are looking about 136 billion. That is about $21 billion. So if the government says that they want to cut down on 20% across board, then we are looking about 4.2 billion. And the question is, where are we going to cut? Are we going to affect, is this going to affect salaries of teachers? Is it going to affect salaries of nurses? Is it going to affect nursing trainee allowances? You know, the government has to come clear. But just to offer a piece of advice, the government has to actually ring-fence certain services like teachers, nurses, police, and what have you. Thank you.
Let's talk about revenue.
Yeah.
Which grey areas do you think government can raise revenue from?
It's quite expansive in terms of, believe you me, Ghana's revenue is about 17%. We compare it to a country like Norway. Norway has about 38%. Okay, so in real terms, what Ghana government can do to generate more revenue, there are so many areas like property. You know, you go around Accra, you know, I've been in Ghana a few times, you go around certain areas and they are springing up certain developments. But those in itself, like places like East Legon, I don't want to really say that we are going after the rich, but let's look across Ghana, okay? According to our own population census, okay, there are about 10 million structures in Ghana in totality, of which 80% of those are completed properties. And out of those 80%, about 9.8 million, right, are roofed. And of this, 20% are metal component kiosks. Okay, so 57% of structures in Ghana are for residential purposes, and about 40 are for other purposes. We can actually tax properties.
Okay.
And we can generate income. Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you think that we can leverage on our digitization agenda to get revenue?
So the good news is we have digitization. So digitization can work in two ways, right? One, it can help to reduce corruption, and then at the same time, we can also help in raising revenue. So for instance, most homes, as we know of, have digital addresses, okay? So if you are looking at about 9.8 million structures in total, let's start with a base of, say, 500 Ghana cedis to about 10 or 1,000 Ghana cedis. We are looking at around 500 Ghana cedis spread across the year. So every month you pay a certain amount, say 500. So we divide that by 12. We are looking at about $600 million. Okay. And going to the higher amount of 1,000 Ghana cedis, we are looking at about 1.3 billion. That is, we are in e-levy territory now. So this, together with e-levy, can take Ghana into the stratosphere, so to speak.
Well, we are out of time now, but you were speaking of e-levy. We'll come to that in another interview. Yes, so thank you so much, Mr. Kojo Frimpong. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay, all right. Moving away from that, the cedi has been projected to continue its depreciation trend till June this year. According to a report by Databank, the cedi took a during the latter part of last year and indicated that the causative factors that led to the relentless depreciation of the local currency will wage on till mid-year. Financial analysts have projected that the cedi will close the year 2022 at 7.03 cedis to the US dollar. Currently, the local cedi is selling at 6 cedis 25 pesos to the dollar, 8 cedis 44 pesos to the pound sterling, and 7 cedis to the euro. The cedi has already depreciated by almost 2%, with just 42 days in 2022. This depreciation, according to a Databank research, will still persist till June this year. The findings further indicated that the cedi remains vulnerable to foreign portfolio outflows amidst an increase in import demand as Ghana continues to be an import-driven economy. In the latter part of 2021, the heightened uncertainty around Ghana's fiscal outlook worsened the local currency's woes. Broadly, the low perspective 2022 Treasury issuance on the international capital market has also exposed the cedi to depreciation pressures in the first half of this year. The research has prescribed the BOG spot and forward forex sales together with tighter liquidity measures as factors that will help mitigate the depreciation pressure on the cedi in 2022. And now let's have the interbank and commodity figures for the day. Chin.